First of all, thank you for being here. Thank you
Thank
for
you much for
crossing
inviting
all
me.
the world to be here. And I'm going to ask you some questions as, for example, what thoughts are you living with after today's and yesterday's discussions after AI?
Yeah. Well, I think, well, first of all, thank you very much for inviting me for this symposium. And this is the second time I'm attending this. And then always I enjoy being about Valencia. And
Thank you.
it's really nice. And I like the cities. And this time I didn't have time. Like last time I saw around all the science museum. Like,
Yeah.
that's a really nice architecture, which I love a lot. Anyway. So these 2 days of the experience actually leave me the impression that there is steady progress in the AI activity in Valencia, and now I'm more engaged with the local industries, like small and medium-sized companies, also with academic activities as well. And then there are a few interesting presentations which could be the really potential huge turnout in the future. So I think this is very encouraging and very promising. At the same time, I think a key is what is our objective, what is what we are going to achieve, what we wish to achieve through this activity is going to be something we want to discuss and we want to define in the coming years.
I have another question about the companies. As you saw yesterday, we have many companies interested in AI.
Yeah.
So if you had to convince a company that it needs a training, what will be your main arguments?
Well, I think first of all, a company need to define where the values come from, and then how AI can help to reframe the value proposition of the company, and then how AI, among with the other technology, can enable to the new reframing of their products and services, so they can have a higher value and a more competitive advantage in the industry. So don't think about AI first. Think about how to reframe your service and products so they have more higher value proposition to the consumers. And then think how AI can help you to make it happen. And that is the chain of thought the company needs to go inside. If you think about we need to do AI, there are a lot of things we can do in AI, but probably sometimes people just lose the focus and they're just doing AI, but then they start asking questions, okay, what is the outcome? Are we increasing the sales? Are we increasing the profitability? Or are we creating a new business opportunities or what? I think a value proposition need to come first always.
How do you think governments should regulate AI?
Well, I think there are a lot of discussion about the regulations in AI, and certainly there are a misuse of AI or overdependence on AI. At the same time, this is fast-moving technology. If you prematurely regulate the AI, that might actually slow down the progress of the AI.
Yeah.
So I think we need to have a minimum sufficient regulations or minimum sufficient guideline to actually avoid the worst case scenario, or really critical infrastructure damage, or have a major psychological impact about to be misused for the criminal or purpose or serious misconduct using AI. And that part is no question. Obviously, we need to stop that. Other than that, I think the excessive regulations or guidelines will probably slow down the AI. And if that happens specifically regionally, and then that will actually regional competitiveness will be sacrificed.
Well, we're gonna think about us, about ValgrAI.
Sure.
What do you think about ValgrAI progress? Because you know us for some years, so
Yes, I think making good progress as the regional program. ValgrAI has been a very steady progress, and then see the outcome quite a number of research projects going, and then the industry relations to get tighter. And I think it's now time for the ValgrAI. Think about what is the engagement with stakeholders. I think the stakeholder management, and then how you envision what is expectation stakeholders for the ValgrAI, and how ValgrAI wants to have a portfolio of the stakeholders who they want to work for, and then what are the expectations. I think a key for next 2-3 years for ValgrAI is establishing the proper stakeholder management scheme.
And the last question, what do you think about the ValgrAI Scientific Council Forum?
Oh, I think this is a lot of fun, actually. No. That's fun part.
That's
actually, it's a
perfect.
lot of interesting, project, and then very interesting one. For example, one I actually impressed is there's students talking about the romantic AI.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's really interesting. In fact, I think the emotional engaging AI agent gonna be one of the biggest industry and the consumer use for AI in coming years. That's for sure. Of course, there are downsides, all the addictions and the dependency on AI. But at the same time, I see a quite substantial industry emerging to create an AI agent who actually resonate with you, always with you, know about you probably much more than any of your partner, or potentially much more than yourself. And well, it's a scary scenario in one side, but at the same time, if there's a proper use, that could be a significant market, or probably not just being a business opportunity, it could actually help people.
Yes.
One of the biggest problem of the elderly society is loneliness. So people have to live alone for many reasons, and then one of the biggest issue is they're being left alone, and then do not have people to talk to, in a regular way. And if AI can probably not going to solve the entire problem, people still wants to talk to people, not AI.
Yes.
But AI can actually resonate. AI can actually give a sense of someone is taking care of them, someone you can talk to them. That problem could be potentially solved. The knowledge is not just a sociological thing, but it has a health impact as well.
Yeah,
because that impacts in all the psychological, neuronal issues, and then pretty much down-regulate the immunological activities. So they have a practical health impact as well.